Good.
Switch. On the controller.
Anytime y'all check the time.
Go.
Hello, everybody. Today is January 2nd, 2022, and because it is the new year, we will be looking at the beginning of the world. Genesis. We will be looking at chapter 1, verses 1 to 9. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So, look around you. Everything that is on the earth was made by God.
What about these things that we live in, like these homes?
Well, that's a good question. But God created man, and man created the houses. Man made the houses using the stuff God put in the world, like the doors of our house. It is made out of wood from trees.
So is it technically God's house?
Like, yes. Everything in this house was made by stuff from God. And man just put it together. So technically, a house is made by God. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
So God created the heavens and the earth. Now, I don't think there's just one heaven. There could be multiple. Because it says the heavens, not the heaven. Not heaven. Yes?
Is there even a heaven for the angels?
I think God and the angels live in the same heaven. So there's the earth and multiple heavens. There can be 3. Yes?
Is the heaven God lived in the first heaven?
Yes. I believe that heaven God lived is the first heaven. Hell is the second heaven, and we in the third.
That is a very good explanation.
But isn't hell more evil than the world?
Yes. But I say that because I believe that to go to heaven we have to go through hell.
Just like Jesus went to hell, right?
But it
And it
says
says in Daniel that when a messenger angel came to earth, they had to go and fight the princes of darkness first.
yes, but demons are everywhere. They can come out of hell and go up a little above earth, and there's lots of angels can come in. So no one's really sure about where hell is. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. So with earth without form, let's say you just take a blob of stuff. That doesn't have any form. But let's say you take some Play-Doh. It doesn't have any form. But when you shape it, form comes and it's pretty, like the world around us. And darkness was on the face of the deep, so there was no light. Imagine the world without light. Then people would know what was happening. We would have to make our own light. Then God said, yes.
But how would we make our own light?
We would try to be good, try to be loving, but we would never be as loving as God. Just like a light bulb, it's a little bright, but never as bright as the sun.
Okay. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. So God called the light day, and he called the darkness, he called night. So that's how we know the difference between day and night. Darkness is night, and the light is day. So the evening and morning were the first day. Yes.
But even though dark is evil, why did God make darkness?
That's spiritual darkness. This is just darkness. Because you can't sleep in the bright lights. You can't sleep in the sun.
You have to sleep at night.
Yes. That's why God made darkness. That's a different kind of darkness. Where Satan is. That's darkness, but a different kind. Like a spiritual darkness. Then God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters."
I believe that firmament is land.
Yes, because mostly all the waters are connected. So, and then there's just some land on some parts of the world. Others just plain water. So, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. Thus, God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. Yes?
What does it mean that it's above the firmament and below the firmament?
Yes, that's what I was thinking about. The firmament, it could not be land because there's no water above land and below land. So, we can think about the ocean.
There is water above land, okay? The clouds, the rain.
Well, no. Well, I think the firmament is the bottom of the sea, like the sand. And then you go below. So we think the firmament is two different things. So we won't really know what the firmament is. Yes.
I think the firmament is heaven.
No. There's no water above heaven. So let us set. I didn't really know this, but in verse 8 it says, "And God called the firmament heaven." So, this is verse 8. And God called the firmament heaven. So, the evening and the morning were the second day. So, yes, you are correct. The firmament is heaven.
Could you see that verse again?
And God called the firmament heaven. So, the evening and the morning were the second day. The last verse. So the evening and the morning were the second day.
No, but when it means heaven, it means sky. So below the sky, there's water. Above the sky.
There's no such thing as sky.
Above. Above.
It says capital.
What?
It puts the heaven in capital. So that means it's heaven. Let's keep going. So the evening and the morning were the second day. Then God said, "Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. Where do we live? We live on the dry land. So that's why God made the dry land with a reason. Thank you. It's capital heaven.
Capital.
Mm-hmm.
I'll end the video.
Yeah. H. H.
H. H-E-A.
Should I go end the video?
I hate you.
Should we end the video?
Yes.